Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. आप सभी को नवरात्रों की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आज का दिन बहुत ही पावन है। आज सेकंड नवरात्रा है और हम अपने चेंबर की तरफ से आज कल हमने आपको इंट्रोडक्शन दिया था कि इंडियन टूरिज्म 2047 हाउ इट शुड बी, हाउ इट वुड लुक लाइक, हाउ इट वुड बी पैकेज्ड, हाउ इट वुड शेप, and we discussed a couple of curtain raisers for you. Today we have got the first legend of Indian tourism, and we are starting a special series, and we have got my mentor whom I hold in the great respect. I've learned a lot from him in this entire journey in a very humble way, like a good student, Dr. Subhash Goyal ji. When I look at the entire travel trade, when I look at hospitality, when I look at aviation, when I look at different segments and the facets of the travel and tourism industry, ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman, while running the travel trade, doing his doctorate and authoring a book also, he will talk about it. A very pivotal and a very important role he played in IATO, he played in TAI, he played with the faith, he played on various platforms. When you think about travel and tourism, I personally feel in this life itself, we should reciprocate the gesture to the people those have done good for you and those have basically given their patronage and blessings. I'm starting this journey. 108 रुद्राक्ष की जो माला है हमारे इंडियन टूरिज्म 2047 की, उसके अंदर आज का रुद्राक्ष और आज की माला का जिसको हम पिरो रहे हैं वो आ रही है डॉक्टर सुभाष गोयल जी से, लेजेंड ऑफ इंडियन टूरिज्म। नमस्कार, प्रणाम, आपका बहुत बहुत हार्दिक अभिनंदन और आपका स्वागत है।
देखिए डॉक्टर गुलशन शर्मा, मेरे ख्याल में आई एम योर एडमायरर बिकॉज द वे ड्यूरिंग कोविड यू हैव हेल्प पीपल एंड यू हैव डन दिस I think every day virtually webinar. I think this will be go down in the Guinness Book of World Record. So the subject we have is India Tourism 2047. This is the vision of our great Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. What is his vision? His vision is that India should be a superpower, and India is fast becoming a superpower. And this is going to happen very, very fast. See, what is in 2014, when this present government had taken over, people used to make a fun that India has a parallel economy and not 50%, but 60 to 70% of the economy of India was cash economy. Today, within these few years of Modi government, India has become a digital economy. And this digital economy is really, one of the fastest in the world. Can you imagine 86% of the economy is now digital. In 1 second, we have 5,438 transactions taking place in 1 second, and millions of transactions taking place in a day. Nowhere on this planet so much transactions take place. Virtually even the smallest of the small hawker has gone digital. So this is as far as digitalization is concerned. And now with artificial intelligence coming in and India becoming a hub for manufacture of drones. And also, the other day, I saw a student who has developed a car, which, is self-propelled. And, like a drone, he's driving the car on the road. So not only this, you see, in all strides, India is progressing very, very fast. Can you imagine that Air India and Indigo together have placed an order for more than 1,000 100 planes. And these planes have already started coming. And if all the airlines put together, and we have pending orders of about 2,200 planes. And it is unbelievable that there was a time, when we had only about 5 or 6 international airports. Today, we are we have developed about 200 airports, and out of which 51 airports are going to be international airports. So, can you imagine the hub of activity that is going to happen? And the Udan scheme, the slogan is Udega Desh Ka Har Aadmi, has connected the remotest areas of the country, and this is helping tourism to grow in all the remotest areas, not only of the Northeast, but also, and now we have the third phase of the Udan scheme already in motion. Now, why is it that tourism is important for India? In my book on poverty eradication through tourism, I have done an analysis that what is the greatest need of this country or any other developing country? It is eradication of poverty. How do we eradicate poverty? There is no magic wand. Okay, we have the wand and poverty will vanish. No. For eradicating poverty, we have to create jobs and we have to create opportunities. Now, can you believe it that India has the fastest incubation centers for new entrepreneurs, for startups? And a lot of these startups are becoming, unicorns. So today, and tourism is one thing, and aviation and tourism, you cannot have tourism without aviation, because aviation is like blood vessels which flow into the body. And if your country is like the body, if the blood vessels are clogged, you're going to have a heart attack. If the blood vessels don't get proper oxygen, you're going to have disease. Antibodies are going to take over. So similarly, if there is no connectivity, whether it is a connectivity of roads, it is the connectivity of air, it is the connectivity of trains. Every day, 38 kilometers of roads are being built. Every day, you see a new Vande Bharat train is being inaugurated every second day. So the rail connectivity is going to increase. The road connectivity is increasing. You see, we have, India is the greatest show on this planet. We have the world's most beautiful and highest mountain ranges. 74% of the Himalayan ranges are in India. We have 7,500 kilometers of coastline. We have the largest mangrove forests in the world. We have the only living desert in the world. All other deserts are dead deserts. But our desert of Rajasthan is full of life, activity, color, music, rhythm. And, it is full of life. So our deserts are full of life. There is a huge potential for investment in India in the various coasts. We have thousands of islands, the Andaman Island, the Lakshadweep Islands, and the various other islands according in our coastline have huge opportunity. Of the coral reef which we have in Andaman Nicobar, the coral reef which we have in Lakshadweep are unparalleled. And the scuba diving activities, the development. Now only look at one, tourist beach area, Goa, that has been developed. And today we have about 200 charters coming to Goa every year, and millions of jobs are being created. And similarly, now we have a second airport at Goa. Then Kerala. Kerala, was a small state in the south of India, which now people call as God's own country. The entire development of Kerala started with the Cochin International Airport, and now Kerala has about 5 airports. So today, you see, Kerala has become a hub, Goa has become a hub. Rajasthan was always full of forts and palaces and Maharajas. So when you close your eyes, you get the feeling of sitting on an elephant or living in a palace. So all these things have a huge potential. Then whether it is the world's largest lake in Odisha, or it is, hundreds of wildlife parks, or it is the rivers, or it is, uh, the beautiful, the beautiful sunset, the beautiful, the culture. You see, we have the cuisine of India is unparalleled. Everywhere you go, Indian, for 365 days, if you are a vegetarian, you can have a different food every day. And every state has its own cuisine. Every state has its folk dances, its culture, its music. So India is a treasure house. It's a living museum. It is, it is God's own country. We are the birthplace of four great religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. And anything that touches India becomes spiritual. You see, an ordinary nun came from Europe, Mother Teresa, and she was converted into a saint. And her memorial is there in Calcutta. One of the 12 disciples in Jesus Christ, St. Thomas, is buried here. Apart from Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, today Saudi Arabia, after oil, makes a lot of money from Hajj. And we are the Hajj for not only four great religions, but also Islam originated in the Middle East. But Sufism, the spiritual side of Islam, whether it was Alauddin Chishti, Bulleh Shah, Nizamuddin Auliya, the Sikh gurus, Lord Buddha, all these spirituals, Sufi saints have flourished in India. So India is the holy land, and there is so much potential. Now, one single temple that was built in Ayodhya today has resulted in millions of jobs. New airports have come up, new hotels are coming up, and the economy of that place has developed like anything. When we built the Sardar Patel statue in Gujarat, people said, "Oh, why we are spending so much money?" But today, the statue has already paid for itself. There is so much tourism, and a tented city has grown up. The people have flourished. So India, with more than 40 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and more than 1,000 other monuments which have not been explored, which have not been classified, are there in every state, in every nook and corner of the country. So this is a treasure which needs to be marketed. And to, most important thing is to market our tourism. You see, I went to Spain and I saw an underground river, and the way they have marketed it, there were queues to go there. We have a beautiful underground river in Meghalaya. We have the world's most beautiful caves. We have so many things in the Northeast, right, which needs to be marketed. So marketing is very important. So I will give tourism, we call it AIM, accessibility, which is building roads, building rail infrastructure, and building air bridges. Now, I have been an advocate for e-visa, and I was fortunate enough that the Home Minister advised, and I announced the e-visa along with him and the Tourism Minister, because I was fighting for e-visa for 20 years. And finally, I had the honor of announcing it. And today, e-visa is a game changer. And now I'm fighting for opening the skies. Now, Indian carriers are important, but India is much more important. So if, today, because the demand is more and the supply is less, our airfares are skyrocketing. You see, in 2019, before the COVID, you see, an airfare to New York or Toronto was about 60 to 70,000 rupees. Today, that airfare has gone to minimum economy class is 1,60,000 to 2,00,000 rupees. Now, this is 200, 300% more. This is because after COVID, people are traveling. The demand has suddenly increased, but the supply has not come to pre-COVID levels. So, in order to do that, and many airlines like Chinese carriers are not operating, Ukraine International Airline is not operating, A lot of airlines which were coming from Israel are not operating because of war. So if there is tourism, there will be peace. But if there is tourism, there will not only be peace, there will be prosperity, there will be progress, and there will be job creation, and there will be poverty eradication. Because wherever the tourist goes, he spends money. And it has a multiplier effect on the economy. Because when a new airport is opened, like in Ayodhya, a tourist comes, he needs bellboys, he needs porters, he needs taxis, he needs conveyance, he needs hotels, guest houses come up, homestays come up, and hotels come up. When hotels come up, they need people at the reception, they need someone to sell vegetables, someone to do air conditioning, someone to do housekeeping. So it has a multiplier effect on job creation. So every state of India, and I've said this in my book also, is has its unique culture, it has its unique beauty, has its unique cuisine. So we need an international airport in every state. We need flights to come from all over the world directly to those states, so that every state, so that tourist doesn't come once and does a golden triangle, Agra, Jaipur, and he thinks that's the end of India. India is much more beyond. If you go to Ajanta and Ellora caves, they are the greatest wonders of this planet, right? How those were built, what instruments were used. People say that people came from space and built them. You see, so such wonders are there. If you go to, these beautiful temples of Mount Abu, the Jain temples, I mean, Taj Mahal is nothing in front of them. They are wonders. If you go to the Golden Temple, the entire atmosphere there is so spiritual. It's unbelievable. And, so there is so much to see in this country. There is so much to explore. There is so much. Every day there is a festival in India, right? You're talking about, Navratri. We will soon be having Eid. We'll soon be having a lot of other festivals, right? In all over India, in Punjab, there is Baisakhi festival, there's Hola Mohalla. In South, there is Onam. In Kerala, wherever you go, there is a festival. Dances, people participate in those festivals, right? People can be a part of it. So I think that every Indian, which Modi ji also says, should bring in at least 4 or 5 or 10 non-Indians who are staying abroad to visit India. And I think we will promote tourism. But my request to the government of India is, we recently had on behalf of the Indian Chamber also a roundtable with the Civil Aviation Minister, where we had taken up these issues, that India needs to open the skies. The airlines, when there will be a huge rush of new airlines coming to India, automatically in competition, the fares will come down, and they will market India by promoting India in order to make their routes viable. Second thing we have done is, I had suggested in my book and in my various letters to the government, that you appoint local marketing agents who are fluent in the language overseas. And once you have done that, then you can slowly close down your overseas offices. But they have put the cart before the horse. They have closed the overseas offices without appointing marketing agents. So suddenly there has been a vacuum. And the spend on digital marketing and social media marketing should have gone up by at least 300-400%, which has not happened. And the campaign which started during Amitabh Kant's time, we cannot live on the glory of that campaign of Incredible India. I think we have to reinvent ourselves and refocus. And by 2047, right, which is the dream of our Prime Minister, I want to see India, the land of our dreams. I want to see India as the most powerful country in the world. In the next 2-3 years, we'll be overtaking Japan and Japan. We have already overtaken UK. and
Germany.
Germany, Japan and Germany. And we have already overtaken UK, Canada, and many other Europe and most of the European countries. So India is on a fast track. We are the fastest growing economy in the world. We are the fastest growing aviation market in the world. We have the best investment opportunities in tourism, because whether you are investing in beach resorts, or you're investing in water sports, or you're investing in camping equipment, or you're investing in mountaineering, India is the land for investment, and foreigners can own 100% of the property. Although it is always advisable to have a local partner who can navigate your investments and save time. But if you want to have 100% ownership of tourism projects, you can have it. So uh, we are on a fast track. Our everything has gone digital. All information is on the web. Today, earlier, if any new airline wanted to come in, they had to go to DGCA, they had to queue up. Now everything is there on the net. You can file your applications on the net. Everything has become digital. And with the result, corruption, I can't say it has been completely eradicated, because at a lower level, still the hangover of the British Babu Raj is still there, but it will take time. And but at a top level, I think everything is transparent. And the biggest advantage India over China or any of these countries is that in China, if you are on the wrong side of the government, right, not only you, not only your investment, but you will also vanish. Whereas in India, you can take even the prime minister and even to court, right? We have a judicial system which is very transparent. And today, it is a little slow, but it is there. So I think we are best destination for religious tourism. We are the best destination for adventure tourism. We are the best destination for water sports. We are the best destination for cultural tourism. We are the best destination for architecture tourism. We are the best destination for yoga, wellness tourism. Our medical tourism is today catching the imagination of all the people in the world, not only people from Africa, Latin America, and some of the developing countries of Asia, like Afghanistan is there, or Iran is there, or Myanmar, and Bangladesh, and all these countries, Sri Lanka, are coming to India. But even from UK and Europe and America, people are coming, because in many countries there's a waiting list for surgeries. The other day, I had a relation of mine. She needed a surgery urgently, and she had a waiting list for about a month, and surgery can become bad. Here, she took a flight, came to her parents in India, and within 2 days, her surgery was done, and at 1/10 of the cost what it would have happened in UK. So for medical tourism, for yoga, wellness tourism, for Ayurveda, for for healing, I think today India is the greatest show on planet Earth. After visiting about 140 countries, I have not seen any other country. I'm not saying I am biased towards India because I am born in India or I am of Indian origin, but there is no other country on this planet which has so much to offer and at such reasonable price. So I must congratulate you for always, promoting India and India tourism. In 2047 will not only be the biggest inbound destination, but also the biggest outbound market. Even today, even with only about 25 million outbound travelers, Indians, even Chinese, may be more in numbers, but in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Switzerland, in UK, we are number one in shopping. In Thailand, we are number two because there are about 38,000 Japanese who live in Thailand. So even if they buy fish, it is counted as shopping. Indians spend a lot of money wherever they go. That is
Mm.
what all tourism boards of the country, whether it is Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, your UK, Switzerland, every tourism board, major tourism board of a country which depends on tourism is today in India. They are marketing. They're trying to get a piece of the Indian cake. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of you, particularly to our NRI friends who are listening abroad, here is an opportunity for you. We have beaten Canada in our economic growth. We have beaten UK in our economic growth. So
And next in the agenda
back,
is Japan and Germany.
come back to your holy land. Come back
Yes.
where your mother is, your parents are, and come back to your motherland. And whatever facilities you can give as help at home, or number of drivers you can keep, a number of facilities, the life, the luxury you can enjoy in India, I don't think you can enjoy on any other place on this planet. With these,
Wow.
thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. I'm open for any questions and answers.
Yes.
God, God bless you, and God bless the services chamber, and long live India. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you very much. You have set the context so positive, so vibrant, so energetic. Every word of yours, India for all seasons, for all varieties, for everybody, come to India, visit India, enjoy India, everything. And you have taken the Prime Minister's vision also so nicely. Few things I'll just take on, and few questions when I take on. Before that, one of your fans, Subhash Verma ji, he has posted three things for you. I must read it out, otherwise he would say, Dr. Saab, I put it so much of energy on the YouTube and you didn't recognize me.
No,
I said, I
I
will.
am Subhash Verma's fan. He's a great guy.
He is writing, please ask Subhash Goyal ji to take a lead, and we should have a, kind of a road show or something wherein every three-wheeler, every taxi, every Uber taxi, every Ola, everywhere it should be written Atithi Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. It should be written on every road transportation, on trains, on aircrafts. That's what is his making a appeal. Number two, he is
That is
writing.
excellent idea. I'll take it up.
Yes, great. And he's also writing that along with the medical tourism, if we also take on Ayush, Ayurveda, yoga, other therapies, because he's very fond of spiritual tourism. So that,
When I talked about yoga and wellness tourism, I had
yes.
Dr. Verma in my mind.
Great. Great. So, Vermaji, you should feel very happy about it. You are in the vision, heart, and mind and soul of Subhash Goyal ji. Okay. Sir,
Yes, he's my namesake.
few questions I would like to take on, and I need a serious note from your side on that. Number
Sure.
one, NCRT is revising its books. So much is happening in the country. If tourism cuts across all sectors of the economy and it can contribute so much, and Honorable Prime Minister is also so keen, why domestic tourism information, geography of Indian tourism, places of tourist attractions, our fairs, festival, dances, music, cuisine, whatever you want to think of, including wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, anything you want to name it. Why domestic tourism should not be integral part of NCRT school education? Why it should be a separate subject?
No, I totally agree with you. In fact, the entire education system is being overhauled. You see, whether it is our history, or it is our geography, or it is our natural resources, I mean, we are being taught about his geography of the world without talking about geography of India, right? So I agree totally with them that not only that, I have also advocated that public health and hygiene should be made a compulsory subject in all our schools. Apart from history and geography, which is the modern history, which is written, Mr. Sanyal has written the latest book on history, whereby Indian heroes should be worshipped, right? The freedom fighters of India, who have, fought against the Mughal invasions, the freedom fighters who have fought against the British, the people who sacrificed their lives in the freedom struggle, their history should be a part of this. And the wonders of India should be a part of, every state has its wonders, should be, a part of the geography and should be
Okay.
compulsory in our schools.
Okay.
History, geography, public health, and hygiene has to be compulsory. In fact, we had a wonderful Gurukul system before the British came. So Lord Macaulay, he said, you cannot destroy this country until you destroy their, educational system. So the educational system which we are following of the British was
Lord Macaulay.
Lord Macaulay sent a report and he destroyed the system. So the system which we have is producing an army of clerks, because where the notes of the teacher are passed on to the notebooks of the student without going into the head of anyone. You see, what we need is critical education. And we had, when I was president of Delhi University Students' Union, I participated for 3 days in a seminar organized by the then chairman of UGC, Dr. Kothari. And this report was known as the Kothari Commission report. And in this report, we said that after secondary education, as done in Japan, there should be polytechnics and every industry should be attached to a polytechnic. So students should, at their aptitude, which should be picked up by trained in those industries, and they should be employed in those industries. So that was our education has to be job oriented. It has to take care of our national interest. And most important is the public health and hygiene. You see, cleanliness. We need cleanliness in our cities. When during my term as president, I had introduced, which I think is being carrying on now, when we have the annual tourism awards, I had introduced two things. One is I wanted the best guide to get an award, and I wanted the best municipality, the cleanest municipality to get an award. And I think this is motivating them. But more important than that is, rather than the government doing something, you see, we have to teach public hygiene, and we have to teach, health hygiene, proper history, country's, heritage, the wonders that India has, and the history which inspires us. You see, lives of great men tell us that we can make our life sublime. What is the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda? What is the thing that motivated Jhansi ki Rani? What was the thing that motivated Shivaji? What was his strategy? I was asking a friend in Vietnam that how they were able to defeat China, America, and France together. He said, we borrowed the strategy from Shivaji of guerrilla warfare. You see, so Shivaji's guerrilla warfare should be taught in all military schools. It's not being taught. You see, our education system needs to be completely revamped. And I agree totally with this. We need to make it job oriented. We need to make it relevant. How many people have used beta and alpha and trigonometry in their day-to-day lives? So we must teach only those things. You see, which now we know everything about Shakespeare, but do we know about Kabir? Do we know about Tulsi Das? Do we know about Meera? Do we remember the poems of Tagore? You see, they are full of philosophy. They are full of life. Every doha of Kabir is, I remember it was being taught once upon a time in schools. But I think the British slowly, changed our educational system. And so I think what the Prime Minister is doing is have hired people to rewrite history in the nationalist context, to glorify our heroes, so that every Indian feels proud of their inheritance. They feel
Great.
proud of this, our
Yes.
Vedas, our system of medicine. Today, the whole world is talking about astronomy. We have our uh, Pacharak, where our people are able to predict solar and lunar eclipse, and Pandit is able to predict it. And the accuracy by which monuments like Jantar Mantars have been built, or if you take the Khajuraho temple, where the light solar eclipse falls only on that day. So these are some of the wonders. So India was a storehouse of knowledge, and we have to become the knowledge capital of the world, which we are.
Wonderful. So, point well taken. Domestic tourism, that's what we wanted, integral part of education, and you totally agree. Now, sir, before we conclude, two requests I would like to make. First point, what innovative marketing strategy you would suggest to be taken up in phases from now onward so we achieve the Honorable Prime Minister dream by 2047?
I talked about aim. Aim is accessibility,
Huh.
second is infrastructure, and third is
Okay,
marketing. You
okay,
see, you cannot put the cart before the horse.
right,
Firstly, we have to make India accessible.
okay,
India is the greatest show on planet Earth, but why are we making it difficult to reach? Why are
huh.
we making it so expensive to reach?
Hmm.
It took us 20 years to get e-visa.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it was so difficult to get an Indian visa. There was so much corruption. There were so
Hmm.
many brokers in between, right? So with e-visa, transparency has come in and things have become easy. So reciprocally, other countries have also reciprocated, and Indians can get e-visa. Many countries, India has now free visa. So that is because Indians are great spenders. People want a piece of the Indian cake. So
Right.
as far as marketing is concerned, today everything is social media, right? We need to have regular digital marketing. We need to have social media marketing. We need to appoint, marketing companies, agents on all the source markets of the country. Indian embassies are already busy with political, other economic issues and the visits of various dignitaries who are coming either to India or going from India. So their hands
Great.
are full. And but we need specially marketing people, and then we can do joint marketing. Like you see, you can join up with the Taj group of hotels and do a campaign. They have a vested interest. You can join up with the Oberoi group of hotels and do another campaign. You can join up with ITC group of hotels, the big chains that are there. And even the new upcoming chains like Sorovar is there, or Royal Orchid is come. They have more than 100 hotels now. So we can tie up with all these hotels and do a chain. Then we can tie up with the airlines, right? Today, we can tie up with Air India. And Air India sound belongs Tata's. So Taj, Air India, and India Tourism can jointly do the marketing, right, to promote India. So the same dollar can be extended multifold. And then,
Great.
then we have Indian products that need to be marketed. For example, Indian tea, right? Indian jewelry, gem and jewelry. So India Tourism can tie up with gem and jewelry exporters and participate jointly with them in various international trade fairs and this, and promote jewelry tours to India, right? Promote, and that will help in shopping and all. Then the textile industry. You
Hmm.
see, India is a great exporter of garments.
Hmm.
So we can, there is a FEO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations. You can tie up with them, and leather exports you can do. So, tourism ministry, marketing India is like you market Europe. India is bigger than Europe. So you need to target specifically. When you want to market Greece, you market Greece. When you want to market, Italy, you either market Venice separately. You have, the cruises from Venice. Then you can market Rome separately, or you can market Milan separately. So every state of India has a tourism body. So the Ministry of Tourism should be a facilitator. They should join hands with the states and do road shows. They used to do road shows with IATO, Indian Association of Tour Operators. And Indian tour operators and the respective countries' outbound operators from there, inbound operators from here, used to have a buyer-seller meet. So those meets should be not prepared at the last minute. A calendar of events for the next year has to be planned now. And forward planning is very, very important. Not this key all of a sudden the minister wants to visit a country and you make a roadshow to suit his convenience. Then last minute, you don't get good buyers, you don't get those. So I would do it in this way. One is improve the infrastructure, we improve the accessibility. Infrastructure, I think the government is doing an excellent job.
Excellent job.
So whether it is airports, whether it is roads, whether it is railways, I think
now the time has come for innovative marketing.
Yeah, now the time is there for accessibility,
Yes,
opening the skies, and innovative marketing.
great.
Then we need to have cruise terminals.
Hmm.
I was in Spain at one time. There were, 10, 20 ships, disembarking. Cruise tourism is a very big business. You see, today it's a few $1 trillion industry. So we should encourage that. Then we should participate for MICE conferences in all the international associations, whether they are medical associations or they are pharmacy associations or they are software associations or they are hotel associations. All the international associations which are there, international film festivals, international, all these international associations, and even with United Nations organization, we should motivate them to have their conferences in India. Now, G20 took place because of the presidentship of India. And in 62 destinations, we were able to have, meetings and showcase India. But now when the people want to come, there are no air seats coming to India. The pipeline through which the tourist has to come is choked. So we need to have more pipelines and more blood vessels feeding the tourism blood flow in India. So accessibility is there, infrastructure, I am satisfied.
And now comes to innovative marketing.
Marketing.
Yes.
Marketing and marketing. It's the most important.
Great. Wonderful.
There is a saying in Hindi, "Jungle mein mor nacha kisi ne nahi dekha, hum thodi si pee ke jhume." We may have the most beautiful places on this planet, but if the world has not seen it, then we are only indulging in self-indulgence and mental pleasure.
Yes.
We need to cache those monuments.
Wonderful.
And lastly, I will, with your permission, because you have such a wonderful audience and they are so enlightened people, that lastly, I went to the Red Fort the other day. I was very happy with the museum that has been built by public-private partnership. And there was a beautiful museum shop at the end. So our museums, our archaeological survey museums, none of them have a gift shop. And we need a gift shop, and we need for foreign tourists, when they come from abroad, they come with 25 kilos.
They would like to buy something and they would like to carry something with them. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the domestic flights, they get 15 kilos, except Air India. So with the result that what they will buy, Prime Minister wants us to buy souvenirs, How will they carry the souvenirs? They'll have to pay excess baggage. So,
Excellent.
so these are a few suggestions. So marketing has to be inclusive of everything. You can't have only promotions, only advertising, and not, you'll promote the product, but if it is not accessible, if there are
Uh,
not enough air seats, it'll be
yes,
one going down the drain. You
absolutely.
have to do all the three things together.
Integrated
Can't-
approach.
You can't do the marketing and not
Hmm.
have the, accessibility, and you can't have infrastructure without marketing and accessibility.
Wow.
Wherever you built, the Modi ji built the Ram temple, he immediately built the roads, he did that before and built the airport. So there is accessibility. So domestic tourism will flourish because domestically accessibility has increased. I am a big supporter of domestic tourism, but domestic tourism is putting money from one pocket to another pocket, whereas international tourism is getting money from abroad to help us in our foreign exchange and create millions of jobs in India.
Splendid. You made a mention in between twice about God's own country. You also talked about Incredible India campaign. You also made a mention of the gentleman's name, another legend, that is Amitabh Kanchi. So once he says, and you're also saying same thing, Modi ji is also saying same thing, that tourism alone can generate that revenue. Tourism alone can generate that much of employment. Tourism that much, can bring so much of prosperity and so much treasures we are sitting on. So, sir, what is stopping us to, cash cow is there? Why we are not milking the cow?
Because it's difficult to reach the cow, number one, and no one knows that the cow is giving the best nourishing milk. So, so we need to make India accessible.
Yeah.
We need to have in every state an international airport. If Delhi and Bombay are choked, open up other parts of the country, right? Have more airports. London has 4 airports: Heathrow, Gatwick, Luton, and London City. Paris has 3 airports: Charles de Gaulle, Orly, and the other one, forgetting the name. So, so why can't Delhi have 4 airports? The second
Gatwick.
one is coming in, but we can have another this is on the Delhi Agra highway. We can have another on Delhi Jaipur highway, and we can
Yes.
have another one on Delhi Punjab highway. We should have 4 airports. So, the whole idea is that if we open the skies like we did e-visa, it will be a game changer. And
Time has come.
and we have to do joint marketing.
Hmm.
We have to have digital and social media marketing, and we need to put all our money in marketing. But before we do that, we need to open the skies.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Finally, they say, हमने 108 जूम सेशंस की बातचीत की है. आज सेकंड नवरात्रा है. जनरली गुरु अपने शिष्य से दक्षिणा में कुछ मांगते हैं. आज शिष्य गुरु से कुछ दक्षिणा में मांगेगा एंड कुछ रिक्वेस्ट करेगा, और गुरु को उसके ऊपर विचार करना होगा, सोचना होगा. We mentioned that we are serious about travel and tourism, hospitality, aviation, everything combining together, opening up skies and all, everything we have discussed. You mentioned about 3 terminals also, T1, T2, T3. I'm going to T4. And T4, when I'm talking about, let's have a new dimension, new vision. This T4 should stand for Think Tank for Travel and Tourism. Think Tank for Travel and Tourism. And I would request you, you lead this particular forum. Let's have 108 लोगों का think tank माता वैष्णो देवी का second नवरात्रा में. Let's think in the direction 108 people coming for the podlock, for the confluence together, and we should take an initiative. जो भी suggestion आज लोगों के आए हैं, I'm not taking all of them. Today is the beginning. Today is the Agaz. And you made a mention, tomorrow is Eid also. People will enjoy festivities, and you mentioned so many festivals. May I make a humble request to you? Why not to have T4 together under your chairmanship? I would request, it's my humble request, as you being my mentor, let's have think tank for travel and tourism for India, and we give our recommendation to Government of India how Indian tourism should be for 2047. And of course, great thanks to Amitabh Kanji. All the time he says 25 million, the employment can be generated by tourism alone. When you talk about finances, economic multiplier, everything can be done by tourism alone. The time has arrived, and I would request Dr. Subhash
Should
Goyal
I,
ji.
should I with all folded humble hands, I'll just say two things. Indians are the greatest thinkers on this planet. But if wishes were horses, beggars would ride them. Right? हम think करते रह जाएंगे. Thinking without action is meaningless.
Time
Right?
has come.
So we need to have a action. I don't mind if you call the think tank an action tank.
Okay,
Because
action time.
we call it uh, an action group or an action, our
Tourism strategy group.
strategy भी
Okay,
बड़ा लंबा नाम है.
action. Okay,
हमें एक टूरिज्म एक्शन ग्रुप
okay.
जी or something like that.
Tagline.
Tagline.
We have coined it here only. Tourism action. Tourism action group.
What we should do is we should make a white paper, or we should do. See, you have wealth of people, who have been teaching in your campus, and you have students all over the country. We need to these big consultancy firms do. They present a paper with facts and figures and statistics to the government. So this think tank can be known as a thinking and action group. We can group it TAG, whatever it is, thinking and action group. Whatever we can, हम दोनों बैठ के, and we can get suggestions from the viewers also.
Great.
Let everyone suggest and let everyone be a part of this group.
Okay.
So what I feel is we can give solid recommendations with facts and figures to the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
7, give recommendations to the Prime Minister. We can give recommendations to the Education Minister. We can give recommendations to the Tourism Minister, the Civil Aviation Minister, the Planning Commission, and the Ministry of Commerce.
Great.
Right? And the External Affairs Ministry. So I think what we need to do is we need to have like-minded people, or we can call it IA intellectual action group or something like that. I like the word action because I don't want to do intellectual gymnastics. We are trying to convert the converted. हम आपस में बातें करके we get intoxicated by our own knowledge, and we have this mutual admiration society where we start appreciating everyone. Everyone likes appreciation.
Yes.
We need to, because you have spent so many man hours in creating this number of webinars and seminars. Now what we need to do is we need to have Zoom meetings. We can call them action group Zoom meetings. And we call the policymakers, not the politicians, the secretaries and the joint secretaries of one ministry. And we have a question answer session with them.
Done.
That will bring in results.
Done.
So let us have an action oriented, time bound, result oriented
Okay.
group.
Wonderful.
Rather than making another intellectual gymnastic exercise.
Yeah. Understood.
Sorry, sorry for being blunt.
Point
Frank.
well taken. Point well taken. We were extempore before the global audience, and everything we have spoken from heart. You spoke from heart. Communication to connecting, heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind, and that is the way we have moved with the vision. We will take on that, and we will go on to the action. We'll go to the action group. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. Thank you for being here, and thank you for initiating and giving the push to the vision.
Anyone has any more questions? You can answer.
There are a lot of suggestions.
Time
Lot of
is up.
suggestions are coming. Somebody has written why India should not give visa free for 1 year, like Malaysia has given, others are given. Give it so that more tourists come to India. Government of India can think of.
सीटें एयर सीट्स नहीं है, कहां से आएंगे? Our planes are choked. That's what I'm trying to do. We are putting the cart before the horse. पहले air seats increase करो so that people can afford to come.
Yes.
आप वीजा फ्री कर दोगे, मार्केटिंग कर लोगे, एयर सीट्स नहीं करोगे, तो पाइपलाइन तो चोक्ड है ना.
लोग आएंगे कैसे?
आएंगे कैसे?
आएंगे कैसे? That is the question.
And there are so many countries where we don't have direct flights to. None South American countries we have a direct flight. Right? Let us explore new markets. Let's get more flights. Africa, there are more than 60 countries. We have direct flights from 3 countries. So why aren't we connecting? Africa is the next continent. They have the largest resources of the world, whether it's stones, diamonds, jewelry, diamond, anything, gold, everything is in Africa.
And it is very rightly said that the next 50 years, that is 2050, till the end of this century, belongs to Africa.
Yes. So we should have more flights. We should have an open sky with Africa. I was having a long debate with the Secretary Africa in the Ministry of External Affairs. And I finally convinced him that we need to have an open sky with Africa.
Great.
Because today, medical tourism is coming from Africa. Tourism is coming from the less developed countries. Tourism is only not luxury. Our yoga, wellness, medical tourism is also tourism. Foreign exchange. Spiritual tourism is also. There are NRIs standing in a queue to come to Ayodhya, but there are no hotels. So we are building up fast hotels. All the, I think, directive has gone to Taj, Oberoi, and all these chains to set up 5-star hotels. They're in the process. So in the next 1 or 2 years, religious tourism will be a big thing in India. So, but how will the people come? Most important is, if you want to connect to another
accessibility.
city,
Accessibility. Yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
Agra ke liye
Which is to be taken.
Right? If you want to connect people who are on 2 sides of the river, you have to build a bridge. You have to connect people from other countries. We can't build a bridge in the sky, but we have these air bridges of airlines. You see, we have to have shuttle service of the airlines. So you need to open the skies. It is as essential as opening e-visa is concerned. And once we open the skies, then we can do free visas. We can do a lot of other things.
Yes, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very scintillating, very captivating, very engaging, very informative, very futuristic, and the vision of Dr. Subhash Goyal, the legend of the Indian tourism. And can you believe the 1 hour has gone? We started at 9 and it is going to be clicking 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. All my brothers and sisters, those are joining from abroad, from different countries, we extend you a very warm welcome. Be a part of these deliberations. Today, we have initiated this process. We have started with Dr. Subhash Goyal ji, and he has given the tag that is basically the action group for tourism. Will work in that direction as well. With these words, I fold my hands. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for having you with us. and look forward many more such interaction and intellectual wisdom capital coming from you to the global podlock and confluence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma. God bless
Thank
you. Keep up this
Thank
good work.